The by-elections have officially come to a close and we now have all the results of the 7 concerned constituencies. And from what IEBC has released, the broad-based government should not be celebrating and instead they should be very concerned about their performance, particularly in Baricho North and in Malava. And in this video, I'll give you some of the reasons why that's the case. And so with no further ado, let's get after it. So let's start with Kenya Kwanza's performance in Baricho North. Historically, Baricho North has always been a 50-50 battleground, and I'll give you examples. In 1983, Sylvester Mate beat Kamwithi Munyi with just 183 votes. In 2002, JB Muturi beat Muriugi with 266 votes. In 2013, Njagagwa beat JB Muturi with 284 votes, and in 2022, Roku beat Njagagwa with 647 votes, and finally, 2025, Wamudhende has fictitiously defeated Karis with 494 votes. So imagine all the millions of money used in the form of bribes, only to win by 494 votes. That just goes a long way to show that Wamudhende had no numbers bar bribery and voter manipulation. So Baricho North, from where I sit, remains to be a 50-50 battleground constituency. So come 2027, it's not over. A loss of 497 is a very small margin considering the amount of bribery and corruption that took place. And I'll give you more of that in the third video of the day, where actually Wamudhende might not be sworn in and might find himself headed to court. But let me not talk about that now. I'll do so in the third video of the day. Now, the second reason why KK should not be celebrating in Baricho North is because their candidate Wamudhende comes from a ward called Nthawa, which has 18,000 votes, which actually happens to be the highest. And Karis comes from Muminji ward, which carries only 9,300 votes. So for Karis to lose by 497 votes, that means that Wamudhende only managed to garner 53% of the total votes cast in his own ward of Ndhiwa. Karis took 47% from him. So again, Karis remains to be a serious threat in Baricho, and Wamudhende needs to know that 2027 will not be like 2025. You see, in 2025, everything stopped for those elections in 7 constituencies. The government had the financial muscle to outspend and overspend the opposition in those 7 by-elections, which is what happened. In Baricho North, more than 600 million was used. In fact, some are talking of figures around $1 billion. Will Wamudhende be able to get that same kind of money in 2027 when the president himself is looking for re-election, when governors are looking for re-election, MPs, MCAs, all those people who are forwarding money to him, will they be available then for that? It becomes tricky. Kazi itakuwa inaendelea 2027 is voter bribery across the country, illegal empowerments across the country. So kila mwanasiasa itakuwa God for us all, every man for himself. Hii kusaidiwa Wamudhende amesaidiwa na pesa. This is the first and the last. So the question is, will he be able to redo what he has done in 2027 minus the money? Question mark. Now over to Malava. In Malava, there were 2 challenges. The first is the obvious looting. I mean, how can Panyako win 134 out of 198 polling stations and then he still loses the vote by 1,200? And then Ndakwa only gains momentum when Natembea and Panyako are arrested within the hour and their agents are chased. That is a repeat of what we saw in Tanzania when Suluhu Hassan went to arrest Tundu Lissu, akaenda akashinda kura, akajiapisha, and then they released Tundu Lissu. That is exactly what has happened to Panyako and Natembea. After stealing elections, now they have been released. If you talk to any election observer or agent in Malava, they can tell you it was worse than anything they've seen in the country. Not even Baricho North can compare to Malava. There was blatant looting, agents were beaten and chased, the candidate was arrested, harassed even the night before his bodyguard alipigwa kisu, and yet that candidate only lost by 1,200 votes. Yet hata ni candidate ambaye ni simp, analia kwa polling station, anatoka pale anaenda kurefute the results even before they have been released. So in Malava, opposition had a weak candidate, there was blatant robbery, and they only lost by 1,200. In Baricho North, Wamudhende comes from the most populous ward, which has double the numbers Karis has in his original ward. And then you factor in all the billions that have been used and the voter bribery, and they only won by 497. Those 2 remain to be battleground states. It is not a lost cause as we approach 2027. Now, at the end of the day, guys, that's just my opinion. Do let me know your own comments in the comment section below, and I'll do best to read them and to give you a response. And with that, here are today's ads of the day. If you're in need of office partitioning or home interior works, i.e. kitchen cabinets, modern media walls, wall decoration, wainscoting, wardrobes, tiles, bathrooms, window blinds, gypsum, and so on, reach out to Suima's Interiors at 07170 443 or info@suimas.co.ke, and they'll get all your needs sorted out. Whatever it may be, all interior works, these guys are the best at it.
Bukomba Pure app. Download today from the App Store and Play Store. Register by creating an account with your username, email, phone number, and add your password of choice. Upload your products and start selling or buying seamlessly. Gikomba Pure App, a new digital market.
Now, if you're here for the first time, please go on and hit the subscribe button. And if you're watching for a different platform, just head on over to YouTube, search for David Wafula. Hit the subscribe button. You're going to be getting a ton of content of this nature. If politics is something you're passionate about, this is definitely the one channel that you really need to subscribe to. All right, guys, adios. Thank you for choosing David Wafula as your primary news platform. We put countless hours in research, recording, and editing. By showing up each and every day to watch our videos, you encourage us to generate more videos for the viewers. We are on a mission to inform, educate, and build a better tomorrow. To our thousands of followers in a world full of presidents, kings, and queens, you are the real gem. Adios.